everyone, welcome back to Pably. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate return to work forms with Google Forms and Google Docs. So here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is done with the help of Google Forms of return to work, automatically a document of return to work should be generated in my Google Docs, as I've already created a template of return to work in my Google Docs and it should be uploaded in my Google Drive folder. For that, we need to create an automation between all of these applications with the help of Pably Connect. If you want to learn how to do this automation, then let me take you all to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate return to work forms with Google Forms and Google Docs. So here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is done with the help of Google Forms, as I've created a form for the return to work with the help of Google Forms, automatically a return to work document should be created and it should be saved in my Google Drive folder, as you can see right over here, and this document will be created with the help of the template that we have created in our Google Docs. For creating this entire automation process, we are going to use Pably Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pably Connect, that is pably.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pably Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pably Connect account. After signing into your Pably Connect account, you can see all Pably apps window in front of you, in which you can see 5 applications of Pably, from which we're going to select Pably Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then you can see Pably Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process, we need to create a workflow. For that, we have to click on this top right corner button that is right over here that says Create Workflow. After that, a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a workflow name. So I'm going to give a name to my workflow as Automate Return to Work Forms with Google Forms and Google Docs. And next, it is asking for us to select a folder. On the left side of my screen, you can see there are multiple folders in my Pably Connect account. If you want to create your own folder, you have to click on this plus button right over here. As I've already created a folder, I'm going to click on this drop down arrow right over here. I'm going to save this workflow in Google Forms automation folder. After that, we're going to click on Create in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Automate Return to Work Forms with Google Forms and Google Docs. And there are 2 windows in front of you. One says Trigger, another says Action. Trigger and action are the 2 most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these 2 steps. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. Firstly, we're going to set up our trigger step. For that, we have to click on this arrow right over here, as it is asking for us to choose our trigger application. Our trigger application is going to be Google Forms. So for the trigger application, I'm going to select it as Google Forms because I want that whenever a new form submission is done with the help of Google Forms, as I've created return to work form with the help of Google Forms, automatically Pably Connect should capture the response. For the trigger event, we are going to select it as New Response Received. After selecting a trigger application and the trigger event, you can see Pably Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, you can connect Google Forms with Pably Connect by following the steps given here below. Firstly, we're going to copy this URL from here. Now what we have to do is we have to follow the steps given here below. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the form that I've created. So as you can see, this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and this is the return to work form that I've created. Now we're going to connect this form with our Pably Connect account. For that, what we have to do is we have to go on responses right over here. Then over here you can see it says link to sheets. We're going to click on it. A new dialog box is going to appear in front of you, on which I'm going to click on create a new spreadsheet. But if you have an existing spreadsheet, you can choose this option. But as I'm going to create a new spreadsheet, I'm going to click on create. As you can see, a new spreadsheet is created with the help of Google Sheet, and this spreadsheet is connected to the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms. So that whenever a new form submission is done with the help of Google Forms, as you can see, this is the form that I've created, automatically the response of those form submissions is going to be captured in this Google spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this spreadsheet with Pably Connect. For that, what we have to do is we have to click on extensions right over here. Then we have to click on add-ons and then on get add-ons. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you, in which on the search bar we have to search for Pably Connect webhooks. I'm going to click on Pably Connect webhooks. Then we have to select Pably Connect webhooks right over here. So as you can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks. I'm going to move forward, but if you have not installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, please do install it because it will help you to connect Pabbly Connect with the spreadsheet that you have created. So I'm going to go back. We're going to click on extensions again. Over here you can see it says Pabbly Connect Webhooks. We're going to click on it and then we're going to click on initial setup. As you can see right over here, a new dialog box is going to appear in front of you. Over here it is asking for the URL. So I'm going to paste the URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Next, it is asking for us to select a trigger column. Over here, it says trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added. So in the spreadsheet that I've created, the column which is going to be a trigger column in which the final data is going to be added is column M. So after pasting the webhook URL and selecting the trigger column, I'm going to click on submit. As you can see right over here, it says setup configured successfully. Now I'm going to close this right over here. So now remember, the steps which I'm going to tell you are very important steps. Do not forget to follow the steps which I'm going to tell you. We have to click on extensions again, then we have to select Pabbly Connect Webhooks again, and then we're going to select on send on event. As you can see, it is saying working. If I'm going to take you back to extensions in Pabbly Connect Webhooks, you can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. This means that whenever a new data is going to be captured in the spreadsheet, automatically the data will be forwarded to Pabbly Connect. So that is why it is very important to click on send on event. So if I'm going to take you back to my Pabbly Connect account, over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So what we are going to do is we are going to submit a dummy form response with the help of that form that we have created with the help of Google Form. As you can see, this is the form that I've created, and with the help of this form, we are going to send in a dummy response. For sending a dummy response, you have to click on this preview button right over here. So this is the form that I've created, and these are the questions that this form is asking for. So we are going to fill in all the details. Firstly, it is asking for the employee name. So for the employee name, I'm going to write it as dummy user 123. Then for the employee ID, I'm going to write it as a dummy employee ID. Then for the department, I'm going to write it as finance department. For the email, I'm going to write over here a dummy email. Dummy user 123@pabblydudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number. Then for the department manager, over here I'm going to write the name of my department manager. So this is the dummy name of my department manager. Next, it is asking for the first date on which this employee was absent. So over here, we're going to select the date on which this employee started taking leave. For that, we have to click right over here. And for the date, I'm going to select it as 1st of February. Then for the last date of absent, I'm going to select the date on which this employee was absent. For that, I'm going to click right over here and I'm going to select the last date of absent. Then over here, it is asking for on which date the employee started working again. For that, we're going to select the date again. So I'm going to select the date right over here. Then it is asking for total number of working days of absence. So over here, I'm going to write the total number of absent dates. That is 54. Then for the reasons of absent, I'm going to write a reason right over here. So this is the reason that I've written. It is, I had met with an accident and sustained a fracture in my leg, which required immediate medical attention and considerable amount of rest. After that, it is asking for, do you properly notify the employer of your absence? So I'm going to select it as yes. After that, I'm going to click on submit to submit the form's response. As you can see that over here, it says your response has been recorded. So now I'm going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, in this Google spreadsheet, the response is recorded successfully, as you can see right over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account and I'm going to check whether the response is captured by Pabbly Connect or not. For that, I'm going to open my Pabbly Connect account, and yes, as you can see over here, response is captured right over here. If I'm going to scroll down for the total number of working days of absence, it says 54. For the reasons of absence, you can see the reason is right over here. For the phone number, dummy mobile number. For the last date of absence, the date right over here. For the first date as the date right over here. Employee name as dummy user 123. Employee ID as dummy ID. Email as dummy user 123@pabblydudes.com. Over here for the did you properly notify the employer of your absence as yes. Department manager as test account. Department as finance department. Date return to work as the dummy date. So this means that we successfully connected Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. As we want that whenever new form submission is done, automatically a document should be created with the help of the template that we have created in our Google Docs. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our action step right over here, and for the action application, we are going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm going to select Google Docs right over here. Then for the action event, we're going to select it as create document from template, because as I've created a template in my Google Docs and I want to create a document with the help of this template. For that, we selected our action event as create document from template. After selecting our action application and action event, I'm going to click on connect in order to connect Google Docs with Pabbly Connect. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you on which I'm going to click on add new connection. But if you have an existing connection, you can choose this option. After that, I'm going to click on sign in with Google. Then a new window is going to appear in front of you which is asking for access. I'm going to click on allow as this is a safe process and my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. As you can see that we successfully authorized Google Docs with Pabbly Connect. Firstly, it is asking for the template document. So over here you can see I've created a document with the help of Google Docs in the name of return to work document, and I want that with the help of this template a new document should be created. For that, in the place of template document, I'm going to select it as return to work document. After selecting the template document, it is asking for the new document's name. So over here we're going to mention the document name which is going to be created with the help of the template. For that, what I want is that whenever a new document is created, it should start with my employee's name. For that, what we have to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from a previous step. For that, we have to click on this field right over here. As you can see, this is the previous response of this automation process. I'm going to click on this arrow and you can see this was response that was captured in our previous step. As you want the data for the name of my employee, I'm going to map the data of the name of my employee right over here. As I mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means every time a new response is going to be captured in my previous step, automatically the data right over here is going to be updated. After that, I want it as dash return to work document, so that whenever a new document is going to be created, it will always start with my employee's name dash return to work document. As I've written this data manually, over here the data is now static, it will not be changed. After giving a name to our document, it is asking for the new document's location. In my Google Drive, I have created a folder in the name of return to work document folder, and I want that whenever a new document is created, automatically it will be saved in this folder. For that, the new document's location is going to be return to work document folder. After that, it is asking for the employee name, employee ID, department, email, phone number, department manager, all the other details. So if I'm going to take you back to the template that I've created, over here you can see in place of these values, you can see there are curly brackets in the front and in the end of these values. So these are variables right over here. Whenever a new form submission is done, in place of these variables, the value of those details of form submission should be entered. For that, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data in place of these variables right over here. As you can see, these are the variables that I've created in my template that I've created with the help of Google Docs. And in place of these variables, I want the values of the form submission. For that, what we're going to do is we're going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from a previous step, that is right over here. As we want the data for the employee name, I'm going to map the data for the employee name, that is right over here. Next, it is asking for the employee ID. So I'm going to map the data for the employee ID right over here. After that, it is asking for the department. So I'm going to map the data for the department right over here. Next, it is asking for the email. I'm going to map the data for the email right over here. I'm going to map the data. For the phone number, I'm going to map the data again. I'm going to map the data for the phone number right over here. Then for the department manager, I'm going to map the data of the department manager right over here. Next, it is asking for the first date of absence. Over here, I'm going to map the data for the first date of absence. Next, it is asking for the last date of absence. I'm going to map the data for the last date of absence as well. Next, it is asking for the date returned to work. Over here, I'm going to map the data for the date returned to work. Next, it is asking for total number of working days. So I'm going to map the data for the total number of working days absent right over here. For the reasons of absence, I'm going to map the data for the reasons of absence right over here. Next, it is asking for, did you properly notify the employer of your absence? So I'm going to map the data for the required field right over here. After filling all the details, I'm going to click on save and send test request. As you can see right over here, response is received, and the response that we have received is a positive response, as we have also received a document ID. So if I'm going to now open my Google Drive folder that I've created, a new document should be uploaded in that folder. I'm going to open my Google Drive folder that I've created, and yes, as you can see right over here, a new document is created as well. If I'm going to open the document, the name of the document is dummy user 123 return to work document, and this is a document for the return to work for the name of dummy user 123. It has all the details like employee ID, department, finance department, email as the email right over here, phone number, department manager, first date of absent, last date of absent, date returned to work, total number of absent days right over here, reasons of absence, that is right over here, and Did you properly notify the employer of your absence? As yes, right over here. So this means that we successfully created an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit another form response, and I'm going to check whether a new document is created in my Google Drive folder or not. For that, I'm going to do another submission of form response. I'm going to open the form that I've created. As you can see, this is the form that I've created. To submit another form response, I have to click on preview right over here. As you can see, this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms right over here. I'm going to fill in all the details. As you can see that I've filled in all the details that this form was asking for. For the employee name as dummy user 234, for the employee ID, a dummy employee ID, department as marketing department, email as dummy user 234@pabblytudes.com, for the phone number, dummy mobile number, department manager as test demo, first date of absence as 2nd of January 2024, last date of absence as 19th of March 2024, date of return as 20th of March 2024, total number of working days of absence as 77, reasons of absence as I had a surgery which required immediate medical attention and bed rest. As for the did you properly notify the employer of your absence? As yes. After filling all the details, I'm going to click on submit. As you can see over here, it says your response has been recorded. So now what we are going to do is we are going to open our Google Drive folder, and I'm going to check whether a new document is created in my Google Drive folder or not. For that, I'm going to open my Google Drive folder. I'm going to refresh the page. And yes, as you can see over here, a new document is created in my Google Drive folder. I'm going to open this document right over here. So this is the document for demo user 234 return to work document, and it has all the details that we have filled in our Google form. For the name as dummy user 234, for employee ID a dummy employee ID, department as marketing department, email as an email of the employee, phone number dummy mobile number, department manager as test demo, first date of absence, last date of absence, date return to work right over here, total number of working days as 77, reasons of absence over here. Did you properly notify the employer of your absence? As yes. So this means that we successfully created an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So here my objective is that whenever a new form submission is done for return to work with the help of Google Forms, automatically a document should be created from the template that we have created in our Google Docs, and it should be saved in my Google Drive folder. For that, we have created an automation with the help of Pabbly Connect, and this is how we set up our trigger and action step of this automation process. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.